2025 Commissioners meeting. We have six forms in the back corner by the door. Feel free to fill one of those out if you would like, and you can submit it to the auditor's office. If you'd rise and follow Todd House, pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Brian, will you lead us in prayer?
Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this day. We thank you for this past weekend of celebrating the birth of our nation. We ask you to give us wisdom and the right things to do and say here in this meeting. And as we just take care of our county, we thank you for these people here that support us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Let's go ahead and start with the June 16th minutes.
One change that I saw on highway department updates. Todd pointed this out to me. He caught it. Where it says bridge condition ratings, it should be road condition ratings. That was like the Pager rating, all that's for roads, not the bridges. Other than that, I didn't see anything else.
And also along with that, the state road 3 from Westport to Jennings County, detour, that already happened, 700 west.
Oh, yeah.
Do what? The detour 700 west from Westport to Jennings County, that already happened and the road work's already been completed.
Correct.
So that, it shows that it's going to need it, but it's already happened.
Anything else?
I don't.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the June 16th meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the June 16th meeting minutes.
A second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, motion carries with those amendments. All right, looking through the just the review of the budget session minutes. There any on that, gentlemen?
I do not make a motion to accept.
A second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Moving on to claims.
Claims.
I have ones that I looked at. I talked with Christy with the chairs, and it looks like those were taken out of the prosecutor fund like they were supposed to. And then Brian Gabe, I know you said that you'd had one as well.
So for the snow removal, but it's just that's an issue with the invoice keep being a problem, need to be addressed in a more proper fashion. Yes, that's no removal for Brian Twain.
I didn't hear anything on that one, so.
I talked to Tim. Tim said that it went back out for its third time. It's just,
Gentlemen, could you speak into your microphone?
They don't all work.
but yeah, there was 2,100 that was on the claims for snow. But I talked to Tim. It was originally submitted right before it was done. It just has continued to not be on the proper documentation. They don't like it. So I guess it was reissued.
It wasn't on an invoice form. We tried to submit it, got kicked back. Went back to him and helped him create an invoice.
Okay.
And then we resubmitted it. It was for this past winter, when we need to get the snow on some of these county roads that drifted, need to get it back, pushed back for the next event.
Okay. But it has been paid. It is being sent out this time, though.
My understanding.
Yes.
It's in claims now.
Right.
That's all I had out.
And I would just note just for the public, as far as the fairgrounds project goes, we did receive a second pay app from GM Development. I'm sure a lot of you have heard just where we've been at with that project. The second pay app on that is $596,100 $82. Buildings delivered the core and footers. I'm sure more will come in for the building. The core and footers and parts of the foundation now. The building project will not be active during the fair. It will be fenced off during the fair time.
It is fenced off now.
So it'll be a great place to hang sponsor banners right there on the fence. All right, so I'd entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Claims are approved. Moving on to payroll. We have payroll for June 20th in the amount of $425,220.63. And I also have July 3rd here in the amount of $415,147.78. Any discussion?
I didn't have any questions about payroll.
Now I would make a motion to accept payroll.
Both of them?
Yes.
I'll second the motion to approve both.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Payroll is approved. Pass those down, please. All right, moving on. Todd House with the Highway Department.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. Howard, since we have met last, general maintenance we've been doing at the highway department, relatively the same. Been doing some patching on roads, been grading some stone roads. A couple of these rain events have really done a lot of washout on the gravel roads. We've had to address those, spread stone, mowing and spraying on the vegetation. And we've been doing some culvert pipe replacements in the county. I have submitted the documents for 2024-2 for the closeout on that project. They were submitted and approved by NDOT, so I'm going to go on that. We're in full swing on 2025-1 chip and seal. We're behind schedule just because of the weather. So I think they're probably 3 weeks behind. So the last thing I got with the unofficial detours for South 421. There's between Decatur County and is that Brickley? There's 8 projects on that road, and they include, every one of them's a DES number. Each one of them will have up to a 7-day closure on. And the scope of work is bridge deck, a thin overlay, and small structure replacements. So each one of those closures, we had to submit a unofficial detour route because they'll hard close it right after the project. So we'll hit the county road before or after. And those will be reviewed and filmed by NDOT prior to the project starting. So I had to submit that for each project, and there's 8 of them on that one. And like I said, the scope of work is bridge deck, thin overlay, and small structure replacement.
Is it going to be the same detour for each one of those different?
No, each one will be different. Yeah. Other than that, that's all I got. You guys got anything for me?
You've gone out and looked at the chip and seal, the quality of the work that's been done.
Yeah.
Can you just give us a little bit of a report kind of on what you've seen from those reviews?
I think that they're doing a pretty good job. The one thing that I know is taking them a little bit more time, normally at the intersection, they're not doing the intersection ends. They're coming back and doing that after they've done that road. And the reason for that is for the trucks backing in and tearing up that particular intersection. So I like that. There's been a couple roads that they didn't get off quick enough for the weather. They had to go back and retreat. But other than that, I think they've been pretty good as far as communicating, making sure they get an update to make the public aware. They did submit for a partial payment. So from the work that I've seen, I thought they did a pretty good job.
I went out and drove 150 today out in that area, Country Club States and West Pizer Edition.
Yeah.
And it looks really good.
Yeah.
I felt like they did a good job keeping the gravel out of people's yards. It looks nice.
I think the updates as well that are going to IT and to dispatch has been very helpful.
Yeah.
I think that's been great to get that information out to the public ahead of time. Any idea how many miles that they had chip and sealed at this point? You guess?
116 altogether. I couldn't tell you how much more they got. So I think our paving crew that did skip patch, wedge and level and mill and resurface, I think they're pretty much done. So a lot of the work that I've seen them do has been good. Is it up to everybody's par or is it perfect? But if you drive those roads, for the most part, they've addressed a lot of the problem areas. So I feel, as far as on behalf of the county, there are improvements that need to be done. So
I know last year we had some issues with gravel getting dumped in yards and ditches and things like that. I haven't heard any complaints about those kinds of things. If you, from your perspective, it's worth asking.
I had one lady email me pictures, and when I went down and looked at it, it was really wasn't enough to be really complained. But I sent the paving crew down there, they addressed it. There was also one, did get a call from a guy, he had his car parked right at 1200 South and 1050. And it was pretty much in our right of way. And they chip and sealed around there, and then basically they went ahead and broomed, but when they broomed right up next to his car and got some gravel in his hubcaps. And so anyhow, I went and met with Jamie from FC and said, hey, this guy called. All right. I went down and looked at it. Here's some pictures. You need to address this gentleman. Okay. It's your problem. You're our contractor. And I told him, I said, if you run into this situation again, do not do that. Just call us. We'll get somebody to tow that car out of there. So it's not going to get damaged or so anyhow, I don't know what they decided, but he hadn't called back. So, and Jamie said he was going to address it. So I'm assuming he did. So
on 600 East, we replaced a bunch of culverts all the way down there on probably 2-3 years ago. Then you ground those out and laid those over.
Yeah.
It's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
I mean, the road's still kind of narrow, but those were all fairly rough.
Yeah.
Now they did a nice job of playing without the normal.
Yeah.
You sometimes get, they did.
Well, I had several people complain about those, and I drove those too. And like I said, that really wasn't in our skip patch. When I had 2 or 3 calls, it was like, let's just add that. So,
Smooth the general travel of that road.
Yeah. Appreciate the comment.
I've got a call from a gentleman, and he's behind me there, Mike Powers, and he's on 500 East. He's kind of got a question or an issue with 500 East, a culvert pipe that's maybe too small, not letting enough water across. So I guess while you're up here, Todd, Mike, do you have you want to address that or questions for that?
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the first thing I would like to address is when you call people, they tell you they're going to call you back and they never do. I don't know. You don't sit well with most people. And when you call the person back and he says he stutters and complains a little bit about, don't remember that, that's not right either. You did that. You said it was no benefit to the county for that call to be there, more benefit to me. How if you build a $500,000 house, how's that not a benefit to the county?
You're talking about the dead end.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, when you chip and seal that dead end, water is calm because the grass and the sod was higher than the road. So I went over a quarter mile with my tractor after you got done doing that. So the water will run off that road and not pond on that road. Was that a benefit to me or to the county?
Well, I did talk to you. I did call you back.
No, you did not call me
Yeah, I
back.
did. I sure did. I pretty much mentioned to you, I went down and looked at that. Okay? The only time that road floods is during a heavy rain event. On normal rain, doesn't do anything. It flows like it's supposed to. That water comes down that waterway and floods the road. Okay? So the pipe is sized correctly, but it's not sized for a 3 or 4 or 5 inch rain. Okay, and I can't put that in to basically just to protect your property. Okay, when it handles everything during a regular storm event.
You didn't call me back. I called you back the second time. Then we talked. You never did call me back.
Remember, I called you
No,
back.
you did not, sir. Right.
Excuse me if I did.
Well, I wish you would say the truth right now while we're talking to these people. You did not call me back. I called you the second time, and you kept telling me more than 4 times that this would not benefit the county.
I did say that. It's not a benefit to the county, it's to your property. Like I told you, in
When
regular,
it floods to 2 other culverts down the road, that's not a benefit to try to get that fixed. Tell me that story.
I don't
How
think they
does
need to
that
put it up.
not benefit the county when the water's that deep when it floods? And when we go out these other places, put another culvert in to help other roads not to flood, but you said that road is okay, cause, I mean, like the stupid thing you asked me, said like, it don't flood on normal rain. No, it don't not. It does not.
That's right. It
But
works perfectly.
you need to admit, you never called me back, buddy. No, you
Let me
didn't.
admit that, I guess. I apologize, I didn't call you back. But I'm
Good.
not here
I
to
hope
argue.
everybody hears this, cause
I'm not here to argue. Okay? You came here to ask a question. You asked your question.
but you lied right in front of us to start with.
Where's the culvert at?
It's on 500 East, which is the old KOA campground road. On the
About
dead end.
midway down.
Is it at your property, Mr. Powers?
Yes, it's just directly across his property.
Yeah.
From the house or from the field?
It's a garage or a barn there. There's no house on it.
I want to put a drain from the basement to that, 10 feet from that ditch, instead of using the sump pump for the house.
Yeah.
And I told him, and he also admitted he would maybe do it if I helped pay for something. I've been asking this for 8 to 10 years. But I don't like being sitting here. Somebody tells me that he called me back when he didn't. I
So
called
where-
Gabe about it over there. He never called me back. I called Brian, and he says he missed a call. I called him the second time. That's why I brought it up.
So, Mr. Powers, where's the flooding at there when you have one of these large, heavy rain events happen?
It's that flooding right there in front of where your garage is.
That culvert floods too. It floods at the first it barely gets to that 18-inch culvert up on the field. Then it floods that 16-inch culvert, which is 8 or 10 inches of water above that. And when Mr. Scott said, well, I don't see putting a culvert in there would help that flooding.
It's right next to a waterway. Okay, everything on that piece of property right above his place all runs downhill. His property's on the low land.
Yes. I drove out there.
So
It floods 2 culverts. It takes cornstalk, dirt over across my driveway.
So there's a 16 and an 18-inch culvert there. Is that what you said, sir?
It flows 16 and the water is almost up to the road. Cornstalks up on the ridges. I got pictures of cornstalk.
Okay. But I think you said there were 2 separate sizes, a 16 and an 18. Is that right?
Yeah, even floods the 18.
What are we looking at when you put culverts out? Like when you decide the size, the diameter of the culvert, what considerations do you have?
Tim runs a diagnosis on how much area is draining in that area. And then we size the culvert pipe accordingly.
When was the last time that we looked at the hydraulics there? Or what the water flow was going to be in these different, can you just have
Tim look it
can you
up.
just have Tim take a look at it and see if by chance we might be undersized, given the terrain, the topography in that area,
Yeah.
to see if we need to address something.
We can look at that.
And then Brian, you have Mr. Powers' number as well, correct?
I did.
Okay. If we can just get an answer to that, Todd, by Friday, that should give
Yeah, we should be able to.
Tim a couple of days just to
Yeah.
run those numbers. and take-
I'll email you and let you know.
Okay. Thank you for coming tonight, sir. We'll take a look at what the data tells us, and we'll see where that takes us, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you for coming in, I appreciate it. Anything else, gentlemen? Thank you, Todd.
Hey, thank you, gentlemen.
Sheriff Bill Myrose.
Good evening. Your signature sheet, authorize it. What I'm asking for tonight is authorization for a credit card for the crisis intervention team, purpose of which to document all expenses to the CIT. So when that money dries up, we can go to the city, make it ready to pay their half and say, here's our true expenses. It's just a matter of true documentation, what we're spending on CIT. Not a better accountability, if you will.
What are the purchases that are,
It's mostly training, those types of situations. And again, any big expenses we do incur in the CIT, we're going through the foundation and getting those approved as well.
Okay.
So it's just not a less thing.
what's the current method, or how are you currently doing it now that's
We're just
created?
using one of our current credit cards.
So you're using a sheriff's department card?
Correct. Yeah.
And so it's being blended in with
Correct. Or everything else. Yeah.
bills, but you're having to pay that out of the grant.
Correct. Yeah.
So I guess Mike be responsible for the card, or who's responsible for that?
It'll be a sheriff's department.
Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
Who's going to maintain the card or have this full possession?
Mike Eggleston, the coordinator.
I don't have much of an issue with it. You guys have any discussion on it?
No, I think if it helps you maintain your records.
Yeah.
What literally comes out of that grant, or paid for by that grant.
And
And
that's what it's-
co-mingle the accounts.
That's all it was about, is the accountability for that account.
I don't have an issue with it.
I would make a motion to approve the credit card approval.
And all those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Any put your signatures on that? Guess while we're talking about credit cards, I'm gonna skip down on the agenda a couple of lines. There's another topic there for credit cards, for maintenance. Patty, do you want to just speak a little bit to the necessity for Charlie to have the credit card, what that can help with?
Well, kind of twofold there. We've got maintenance and the commissioners. So presently, Charlie doing the maintenance work has been using commissioner's credit card, which is actually council / commissioners. So, but he needs that, to make small purchases for the most part, but getting parts, getting things we need for the courthouse and the annex. So it's just handier, yes, if he can access that card, get something while it's broken down and get that going again. Because invariably, somebody else will need the card at the same time.
I think that's what precipitated. I just think the credit card, Charlie had it. They need it.
And it can be vice versa. Charlie, and somebody else has it, now we can't fix it.
And I think part of it as well, we can show what expenses we're incurring from the maintenance position by having all of the costs directly attributable, easy to look up.
Record keeping will be easier, yes.
And then on there, we also had an additional card for the commissioner. And I think that was because somebody had needed a card.
Same way, everyone council. Or at the time it was needed. So,
They were looking to pay for, I think, one of the trainings or one of the
Conference.
conferences
Yes.
that was coming up and.
Right.
All right, so we'll deal first then with the maintenance and the commissioner cards. If you guys are willing to take those both up in one.
I would make a motion to approve the maintenance credit card and also the additional commissioner credit card to be approved.
I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Ryan, okay. Next, I have a credit card request for the Decatur County Prosecutor's Office as a whole, and then also for the Child Support Division. Looks like for the prosecutor office, it would be Nate Carter and Sarah. Both would be using cards, and then for child support, Shelley Warfield. I don't have any specific information on this, Patty. Do you?
Sarah came to me and said they had passed. So sent her to the auditor's office.
Christie, do you
I can
have?
speak a little
Okay.
bit. There's a new rule, IRS rule, that in order to use your tax exempt form, it has to match the name on the credit card. That's why these are coming about now. Child support was just at a conference. She presented the tax exempt form, and then for personal credit card, and they would not take tax exempt.
So you can't even get a reimbursement.
So I believe that's what's behind these, so that way they can't have it for conferences and trainings.
Okay. Well, I would entertain a motion then for both the prosecutor's request and child support division request.
So moved.
All right.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Up next, we have Erica Gunn to us. Erica? Good evening.
I'm requesting a cell phone stipend for both myself and Kate Akra, our marketing director. Hopefully, we've had paid for the entire cell phone bill, but we don't have an office phone. We just have a cell phone. So if you call, our office, it's just but I thought it would make more sense to have one cell phone fee for the office and then do a stipend for myself instead of paying for all phones.
So the office phone right now is and that's through Great Plains as well. I believe.
We through Verizon. It's like a Verizon cell phone because it costs so much money to do Great Plains to have, the thing wired. So we made a decision. Phyllis and I did 2019 just to make it a cell phone. So it's a lot cheaper. So we have that phone and then 2 separate phone numbers for our marketing director and myself.
Patty, do you want to have anything as far as some things bouncing around?
Okay. Since we have a new policy, right, kind of reviewing the bills as they come in. So we had you down that you were still getting a bill from Great Plains.
Oh, we have a Great Plains, but it's a security system. Yeah, so for the back door, and then if the door is open, that's all we have for Great Plains.
I think that's what it says.
It does not. All right.
Yeah, I think it's something that's kind of what I want to be addressed. 'Cause
Right,
what
yeah.
came through from the auditor's office, there was kind of variations and differencing of what was being charged.
It looks like every month it's different.
Yeah,
The bill's different.
In the last few months, it may be different because we added well, it would be different. It's increased because we added the security camera to the back door. There was a carjacking there a few months ago. So we decided to have some security back there. I think Main Source Bank has the camera, but they don't want anybody to, have it be public record. So we put a camera back there. A lot of times we're like after a concert, we're unloading at like 11 p.m., midnight, so it's nice to have some safety back there.
how does that fall? Does that only fall in these asset of ours? Outside. So,
It's an outdoor camera, correct? Yeah. So like our outside of the building. We're at.
just question if the camera system should fall underneath the standard IT for the county's camera system, but that way it's backing up to our system.
I can look at the budget and see if we need to put it somewhere else. I've been putting it where it had been before. Our Verizon bill is on our credit card, so it's separate entirely.
Because the Great Plains bill is not cheap. I mean, but it's fluctuating, so I don't know what it's really supposed to be. It's like every month's different, so I don't,
Okay,
that seems very odd. Like, I think we may need to review clarity there.
sure,
And then-
that's fine. I always submit the itemized or Great Plains bill every month, and it kind of gets a breakdown. And it has changed the last 3 months, maybe. We got it, I think we installed it in like February to March. There was some difference at that point.
Yeah.
So I think it's stabilized the last 2 months.
Well, we have it here. I mean, I can see it
Sure.
and in April,
Uh-huh.
it was $1,750 for
Yeah.
office phone, internet, and security system.
Okay,
But you don't have an office phone.
we don't have an office. We only have,
That's what's confusing for us.
I can understand that.
The prior months, it was 177.61, and then now it's 162.79.
Okay.
So it's kind of bounced
The
around.
1,700 one would have been the equipment when they put the monitor in the back. We have a monitor that has been mounted to the back door or right beside the back door, so we know it's on the other side of the door. And then
The only
we
thing-
have,
It keeps saying office phone, internet, and security. on all
But that
of it.
is hand typed in. That's why you see capitalizations on others and not. So
Okay.
it could be,
and there's a door code on the back, so from my understanding, it's all security based, whatever that phone line is. Does that make sense? Like if something happens, can they,
So it has a dialer on it and it dials out.
it's supposed to dial out?
It would go to their, like, with
911 dispatch.
more than likely, my guess would be it would go to their security system, their security office. And if need be, they would contact 911.
standard
It
procedure.
depends on if it's a monitoring system or not. If it's not a monitoring, like courthouse, it does direct on our admin. And those alarms should go direct to 911. They should come in on admin. If it's an alarm monitoring system, then that could be the ones that notifies, or it can grab it direct.
And it's all been new equipment recently,
Okay.
this year.
I guess that was a confusion when it says office phone.
yeah.
and we're saying you don't
I
have it.
completely, yes, I completely understand. Yeah, I'm like, we don't have a phone that's wired.
Is that something that I can work with you? We review
Oh, sure.
what that is.
Yeah.
So,
I'm happy
just to throw that out, I'm not necessarily. opposed
Yeah.
to it. We'll see if we can.
We can look at the office too, and you can kind of see.
Okay.
A lot of it's just kind of alarm the front and back door to just letting us know that it's been open.
Then-
My old employment there, I still have quite a few contacts, so I can.
Oh,
I'll try to-
I'd be thrilled
We
to-
can figure out exactly what's going on.
That would be great. That sounds good.
Then taking up the cell phone side of things, with Kate, I mean, just describe for me then what duties she would have that would be either after hours or when your office cell phone, your office phone is not available.
Well, after hours, we have the concert series and a lot of events that we do, and on the weekends as well. So even the fireworks, we set up a, tent, we help with the fireworks too. There's just a lot of events and all the food trucks, they call her, she's in charge of all the event planning at the Rebecca Park with all of that, with the concerts. She is on call most of the time, also just using her phone for social media. She does all her posts and uses software for that on her phone.
Is the office cell phone then not available during those events or during those time periods? Because I'm guessing that she could take that phone with her.
Well, currently, my phone number and the office phone number comes that filters in the same phone. So this would be taking my phone number off of the phone and only having the office number. But there are times where I need to have her handle a lot of situations. Because with just marketing, there's a lot of contexts where she's the person that to talk to about it. There are deadlines too, just with, ads that she runs or that sort of thing sometimes. But yeah.
I can see if she's doing that much after hours, where it could be confusing. If she can have the phone and unexpectedly you get the next phone call and they don't know who it is.
Yes. We get phone calls all the time, but most of them come through.
Are you both going to the different events that are there? Are you guys both going to those events that you have to be setting up or have contact with the different people that are going to be there, the different vendors?
Most of the time, like last week I was on vacation, I was down the 4th of July fireworks. Yes, I'm usually announcing the concert series. Before they go on, we have to set everything up, make sure everybody's parked where they should be parked, especially food trucks. It's a lot of work ahead and after, actually. We're often there till 11 p.m. midnight. The sound crew is also there well past midnight usually, taking all their stuff and leaving, and the band and everything. So in case anything happens there, there's a lot of logistics involved with that. Also, even just the hotel rooms, the band a lot of times have to stay the night that night. There's just, a lot of details there too.
In the regular day-to-day workings for the office, are there situations in which you both need a cell phone, but you only have one office phone?
Oh, yeah, we're both on the phone at the same time, yeah.
So you at least need a second phone in the office.
Oh, yeah.
Gabe, from your experience with your prior job, would it be better to have true office phones in this situation or a cell phone for office use, or what are your thoughts?
To me, I almost wonder if we can port that number and roll it into as a DID in with the county, because the cost of a DID is like a couple bucks versus the actual number. And then once it's routed as a DID, we could put it into a forwarding platform that would then forward to your phone, or could be changed to forward multiple. So we may be able to eliminate those numbers completely. Also got some other ideas. There actually is a real phone line there. We should be able to go back to a cell line and maybe eliminate the cost of that. So
Let's pause this for a meeting.
I emailed you next week as a tourism board meeting.
Oh, this week we're off on July, actually.
Okay, well, either way, next week I emailed you, see if what's your schedule is for late next week to go.
Yeah. So let's just pause this for this meeting, and we can come back at our second meeting in July, and we can take it up again. Awesome. Patty, you just want to take a note to make sure this is on the agenda for our next meeting. Thank you, Erica.
Thanks, Erica.
Thank you.
All right, next up I have Cobia. See some representatives from Cobia here. I know just from our meeting, I think it was last week, you just mentioned that there was maybe a brief statement or something that you want to give.
Thank you for having this meeting. Wayne DeLong, Director of Development with GNX Solar. Here with, my name's Sonny DeCastro. I'm the Vice President of Development at GNX. So, yeah, we certainly appreciate the agenda placement. As you're well aware, project is moving through the public process. It's currently pending with the Board of Zoning Appeals. And at that meeting, we specifically spoke about the economic development agreement that would be proposed if the county would be interested in having that additional conversations. As you know, we've been working for about 9 months with various reviews of economic development agreement, road use agreement, agriculture agreement, various good documentation as we move this project forward. For here, at your pleasure to review a future meeting of the economic development agreement. As you know, with the offer we have, we mentioned the 30% floor. That is really important because of, as some of the folks in the room are aware, Senate Enrollment Act 1 changed the landscape and how that property tax is assessed and collected. And with the project pledging 30% floor associated with a component of a tax abatement, we can work to eliminate that concern. Donnie, is there any other topics to talk about?
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate what Wayne was saying, that the economic development offer that we put before the county was very purposeful, knowing that the SEA one could be coming down the pipe, which would remove the depreciation floor, which would allow us to depreciate our equipment to zero. So after a 7-year time period, we would be able to claim zero on the value of the equipment. With our economic development agreement, we very purposely maintain the 30% floor, which is above what the law requires, because we're here to pay our fair share as a corporate citizen of this county. We think it's the right thing to do, and we want to just convey to you that we're willing to go above and beyond what the law requires. So thank you for your time.
And so we would anticipate that the next commissioners meeting, Wayne?
Yeah, we can certainly bring that document forward. I know that it's been under some level of review since, I think, January. That does need to be updated based upon just some recent changes in law. And then certainly, like I said, that would have a component of it that would be subject to the county council's review. And certainly that cadence and that hearing schedule could be discussed as well at that time.
I look forward to seeing a copy.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
We'll put that on the agenda for the next meeting. Up next, we have the overtime policy. You guys have an opportunity to look through the overtime policy.
Good.
Well, looks like the changes that were made met the expectations we were looking for.
So the overtime policy is written at this point for adoption. Reads, overtime is based on actual hours worked after the typical 40-hour pay period. Pay leave time, such as hours used from PTO, personal days, sick days, etc., comp time, holidays, jury duty, or bereavement leave do not count as hours worked for the purpose of calculating overtime. Overtime for those departments that work 35 hours do not receive overtime until they have worked 40 hours. Certain departments do have exceptions, however, for employees who are required to work as designated by the department head. Such exceptions need to be evaluated by the department head with approval of overtime. The Sheriff's Department, Highway Department, Decatur County Communications, parentheses, 911 dispatch divisions, which could meet these exceptions in the event of emergency services, long distance transports, or specialized training.
I think after our conversation that we had a couple times, because I think that's pretty succinct of what we had talked about, what the policy should look like.
Yeah, last time that we just wanted to make sure that the communications was added in Decatur County Communications.
Yes.
What's your pleasure?
I will make a motion to approve the overtime policy.
I would second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Brian, you want to give us an update on the EMA director since you
Yes.
sit on that committee?
Yes, we, as you all know, we did a applications and hiring process, and we have landed our new EMA director, Michael Snyder. Mike, would you stand up there, please? Mike is our new EMA director. Welcome aboard. Mike is a local resident here of Greensburg and a one-time dispatcher, dispatched for 911 for a while and was currently the deputy director for Bartholomew County. So we're looking forward to working with you, Mike. Thank you. Appreciate you accepting the position.
Very good. Thanks for being here. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Up next, we have the window repair for the atrium. It looks like we need to replace the glass in the atrium, reseal the exterior window on the prosecutor annex. Bid here is for $2,957.07.
Is that one panel?
Yes, quantity 1 inch overall thickness.
Okay.
Yep. With glass.
I think a lot of that cost is.
They have to get a lid.
Get two.
Yeah, so just to give the itemized, so the window itself is $836.51. Caulking is $81.20. Labor charge is $480. They have to rent a lift for $1,599.36. I know that Charlie had said in his emails that he had requested quotes from other businesses as well. We had abided by requesting 3 separate quotes. This was the one that could actually fulfill the job. I entertain a motion to approve.
We'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. All right, up next, we have the On Angels Moon 5K. Request for use of facilities. Okay. Scott?
Yeah, just requesting the road closure for the 5K. This will be, I think, the 13th year, and there's been no changes to the route or anything along those lines. And also requesting, as we've done, I believe the past 2 years, sheriff deputy at the one end of the route at Millhausen Road and Stevo Lane for the duration of while the road's closed to traffic issues.
So we're looking at August 23rd, 2025.
Yes, that's correct.
8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yep.
You have a copy of liability insurance enclosed. I don't see anything that we should have that we don't have, General.
Any questions? I would make a motion to approve.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Thanks for having a great event.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do have an announcement. We are doing HVAC maintenance on Thursday. It's probably our best option to try to get some of the heating, cooling issues that we've been experiencing here in the courthouse taken care of. It looks like probably the best weather day that we can figure out here in the middle of the summer. Probably the coolest day. So I know that it probably will be a little bit warmer than what most folks would enjoy, but I think that it's the best time to get it done. I don't have an issue if department heads want to have their staff dress maybe a little bit more comfortably, but it does need to be appropriate for working in a county public building, just to be clear. It should be done on Thursday as well, Patty.
They're 10, they said. And be done by the end of the day.
I didn't say, how projects go.
You know how long this is going to
I've never heard from
Fingers crossed.
Right.
We have a couple of insurance requirements here for the fair. We have a policy, actually, I think it's just one for the fair. So we have a policy for it's the racing facilities policy for the truck drags. Kevin Kreckler and I have been working on this for honestly probably the last 3 or 4 weeks to get this policy hammered out. They had some additional requirements of we have the concrete barriers and we have the highway metal barriers at the track, but they also required this year that we have an additional setback for pit folks that are going to be in there, because we do have bleachers down there, so we had to have an additional setback, 20 feet to be able to make sure the folks aren't sitting on those concrete barriers inside the track. So we were finally able at the end of last week to get a policy in place. And so at this point, guys, I would just ask for your authorization to go ahead and sign this. It's for this racing policy, it's $844.
You feel comfortable with it?
Yeah, with everything that we've gone through, the hoops that we've jumped through with the different possible insurance providers or underwriters, there aren't many other options at this point. There is maybe one other place that we could go next year, but not with the time frame that we're on at this point.
Need a motion to that.
Yeah.
I make a motion to accept policy as is.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. And then on that, Christy, did you see their email about
Yes.
payment and everything?
I did.
Yeah.
First thing in the morning.
And then we had previously on the insurance for the county for uninsured motorist or underinsured motorist coverage. Kevin had sent me an email actually just earlier this evening that they would send it over. There was a mistake in it. An error in the original signed document. So we just need to re-execute one of the documents that we previously executed for our general county liability for uninsured and underinsured motorists.
I'll make a motion to sign the edited document.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion carries. And then I think the last bit of business I have here, back in June, we had approved a contract with Clear Sound to provide audio for the track during the fair. We have another bid now for all of the visual and audio equipment in the farm and home building during the fair on their stage. We're having a number of different bands come in during the fair, and Clear Sound is providing the equipment for that. I emailed you guys that contract with them, and so it includes speakers, lights, all of the wireless capabilities for the different microphones, so that we can have those events during the fair as well. The total price is $4,077.45, and that's at a discounted rate of 35% off of what they would normally be charging for this, since they are a Decatur County fair sponsor. It's a discount of $2,195.45 off of their usual charge for the same service. So I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract to Clear Sound.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. And Christie, if you could just email those over as well as those insurance documents, I appreciate that. You guys have anything else? Or you're around the room?
I do not.
It's a relatively short meeting, Mr. D office back here.
Great point, Bill.
Hey, Jeremy.
We'll get there. I'm gonna go this way. Is that okay, Chris?
That'll work.
All right. Brian Robbins, EDC.
Quick things, July 10th is our annual meeting. We're having Metro accelerated again, it's probably to talk about some things which have happened. Big house, how it affects the communities, pushing to get ready projects funded. Underground being one, we're still staying on that. And then, again, working with the DEA stuff. One of the emphasize anything that is reviewed could be any easy. One of the projects the county should that completely not be in place for easy approval. There's no guarantee of that agreement. Yes. Can't rely on having that in place.
Anything else, Brian? Rob, I'm gonna get my timer out because I do have questions. I'm gonna keep you short here.
Do you have questions for me?
I do. I just want
Fantastic.
to.
Who's ordering dinner?
I'll answer your call. I'll answer quickly.
All right. How the ball diamonds doing?
Short answer, they're doing very well.
How many tournaments we had so far?
Just got 4 next week. We'll have 23 down to the year where we did as well.
Awesome. Very good. Attendance is good.
And this is very good.
Good. Still bringing in a lot of funds through the concessions.
Absolutely. That rental, everything's going good. We had your rentals now, so we're all factored in, and construction starts on the back porch for.
Very good. Let's see. Ken. Oh, yes, sir. Mr. Powers.
I came here for a couple of reasons. You heard one of them already, but a couple of months ago, I called a assessor's office and noticed how $88,000 my assessment went up. And I talked to a lady in the office, and she finally is so nice and so knowledgeable about things. And she said, what do you want to do, file an appeal or just we'll go ahead and take the 10% off? I said, I think I'll file an appeal. Real nice. And once again, it's about not calling you back or doing what you say you're going to do. She said, I'll send all the documents and paperwork out so you can get that done. And so on the 17th of June, I called and I said, when were my documents arrive for the appeal? She said, sir, you're too late. It ended yesterday. I said, I talked to somebody 10, 15 minutes on the phone, and nice, knowledgeable, and she said, the only thing we can do is just go ahead. Nothing we can do, she said, like that. She said, let me talk to somebody else. 5, 10 minutes later, they got done talking. We can take the 10% off, which is okay. But so then, meantime, I called the county superintendent. He never called me back. He stood up here and lied about that. And then I called the area health department about septic tank. Lady's real nice again, said, she'll call you back in 15 minutes. I waited 6 days. My whole thing is, can you stress a little bit more about how I worked 27 years strictly on commission, worked the other 15 commission and assignment. It's so important maybe to return calls when you say you're going to return them. At least write it down. I don't know if you make a note, suggest somebody, but I get a little bit disgusted about nowadays you call people and they never call you back. Dave, I called you.
I apologize if I missed your call. I've been on vacation and traveling for work quite a bit.
But
So
you
if I
know,
missed
if
your
you work
call,
on commission only, Gabe, you'll look at every one of your calls. I had to do that all my life.
I do know that work in advance.
Okay, you work in sales, you know how important it is to call you back.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for letting, finally, somebody has told somebody they're gonna have to do that hydraulic. Thank you for that.
Erica?
Parks and Recreation Board member, Rob told me to, we have a new executive director.
Okay.
Yeah, he's supposed to be here, tonight, he's sick, so.
Very good. Look forward to it. Ken?
Hey, glad to be here. If you know any veterans who are in need, send them my way. I had 3 today and got 2 more on Wednesday to look at. And so it's important that the veterans understand what benefits that a lot of them are passing up. I'll give you an example. I've got a 20-year retired veteran who's never applied for his VA compensation. And he's already passed. So now I'm trying to work on getting some compensation for his spouse. So it's very important that the word gets out to these veterans, come in and see me and let me see what I can do for you. We've updated, Patty's sent her some stuff to update my link on our webpage to give some self-helps, some things that are out there that really will benefit the veterans. So if you see them, get them out there, have them come call me and we'll get them scheduled in to at least look over their files and make sure they're updated and maybe even give them some additional compensations for things that they've earned for giving service to our country.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ken.
Chris?
I don't know how I can follow that. So one of the things I'd just like to say, I run the Facebook page for the Decatur County Fair. Some of the things that are coming in, we no longer use the grandstand app as of this year. So any type of weather-related closures, delays, anything like that will be put on our Facebook. Also, I have a connection with, it's going to be sent to WRBI, WTRE, Princeton Daily News. I'll probably send it to Dave as well, so it gets on the county website. Other than that, the only other thing is just a reminder about the area that's blocked off with fencing. We're urging people not to try to climb on the fencing, not to go within the fencing. I was out there today, and there was actually a kid climbing the fence. So I was already the mean man who said, "Stay off my yard." So, yeah. So that's just the biggest thing is.
Posted it is anyway.
That's a new attraction to the fair this year. Brought to you by Larry Hager.
Get rid of the
Or combine it together.
So just staying up to date with closures, it is fair week. So goodness knows that we're going to get some rain for the crops this week. So,
fair starts Thursday.
He's cool.
Dr. Howe? Anything?
Nothing.
Nope, nothing at all. All right. Leanne?
No, everything's going well. I just got a couple of things I need to update later, after the meeting with you guys.
All right. Gary, you helping Mike get settled in?
Absolutely. I'm a happy guy.
We appreciate you, filling the gap for us there. The amount of time and work that you put into that.
Got rid of the cell
I did. He had 3 of them.
phone.
Yeah, thank you. Anything else for good in Decatur County? Doug, I completely skipped you. I'm sorry.
I just figured you'd come back around, you had something.
I don't know how that happened.
Just update on the comp plan. We've selected an comp plan. I got the contract today, so I'll forward that over. And the first public hearing will be on July.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, if there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion to recess.
So moved.
Second.
We are recessed.